Hi, everybody. I'm Becca Atkins from Artreach in Norwich, Connecticut, and we are here today to do a community share of some of the projects that we've been working on the last few months. Um, but as we get started, I'd like to acknowledge that we work up here in Norwich, which is the ground where we live and work, is the traditional land of the Mohegan, Mashantucket, Pequot, Nehantic, and Narragansett people. We honor their ancestors and we offer respect to their elders, past, present, and future. And we greatly appreciate all of their contributions to our community and society. Now, we are an arts organization that traditionally serves people with mental health issues, and this is Mental Health Month. So, this presentation today is in celebration of Mental Health Awareness Month. We've been hearing a lot about that lately. And what we do at Artreach is keep ourselves well and our hearts healthy by participating in writing, in music, in theater. You probably know the Second Step Players Theater Troupe. That's the theater part. And now we're branching out into all kinds of other areas of social change theater that we'll tell you a little bit about today. But mostly you're gonna hear see some things that were created by our members. So let's see. I think without me talking a whole lot, we'll just get started by talking about the writing group. We have a writing group on Mondays that we sometimes refer to as poetry, but it's really a playing with words group. So sometimes it's formal poetry. A lot of the time it's writing from a prompt. But what we do is get together either in person or on Zoom, depending on what's going on at the time. And we'll write from a prompt and get some nice sensory language. And then a lot of the time we'll pick a poetry form and work on that form with some of the language that we generated. This first piece that you're going to see today came from a class just a couple of weeks ago where we were working on pantoums, which feature a repeating line or lines actually throughout the poem. So we're going to hear a poem from Jason White.
Playing with my smile. Refocus on my life. Put myself first. Shouldn't have to think twice. Doubling down. Putting myself first. No longer the frowning clown. Doubling down. Play that five string with those round wounds. No longer the frowning clown. My friends, music, friends, and sushi. Play that five string with those round wounds. Never again will I lose to me. My friends and sushi. Shouldn't have to think twice. Never again will I lose me. Refocus on my life.
So, Jason, I just wanted to ask you what kind of what you get out of doing the writing class, and what kind of healing do you get out
Um,
of doing that?
a creative, sparks creativity in me and give me something to focus on other than COVID.
Yeah,
And
right.
I'm also trying to say it's a lot of things. I'm really happy that we did the hybrid classes because I don't have to leave the house and be comfortable. I could it was easier to get in my zone sometimes. And then because of this, I'll have like a second wind at night and I'll be writing more songs with lyrics. I've been kind of been more creative thanks to whenever I go to a writing group. I've been writing a lot more and more consistently too. So
You've been writing more consistently because you've been able to have more time at home.
yeah, it may not as long, like not as much as I want to, but it's a more of a constant stream.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
always come
great.
up with even hooks or stuff I want to record lines in my phone. I'll type stuff up in my phone. I'll even if it's just a line I can use for something later. I've
That's
been doing a
great.
lot.
So that was Jason White. And I just want to say that what we're going to do today, we've got poetry, we've got some little interviews like that. We have some music from our jazz group, and we have some videos of our art shows from that are hanging in locations around Norwich and New London right now. And I'm actually going to bring in the other Artreach staff right now and introduce you to them, so that so I'm not lonely. There's Dick. He's the music director. There's Corinne, who's the event coordinator and so much more. It's always hard to have titles at Artreach because, really we should have like a whole stack of them. And this is Emma, who's the associate director at Artreach. That's Sam Bliven over there behind Corinne, who you'll see do a performance of a Shakespearean sonnet later. But hi, you guys. Welcome.
Hey. Hey there, Becca.
Hello.
Hi.
How's things going?
Good.
Very good. Enjoying
Good. You excited to see the little bits? I don't think everybody has seen all the pieces of this yet. So it's kind of fun to share. While you're here, Emma, you wanted to say something, I think.
Yes, I want to thank Chelsea Groton Foundation for supporting this program, and also to acknowledge all the other foundations that support Artreach. That's the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Department of Education and Community Development, Connecticut Office of the Arts, Connecticut Humanities, the National Endowment for the Arts Challenge America program, Community Foundation of Eastern Connecticut, R.S. Gernon Trust, Bank of America trustee, Dime Bank Foundation, Frank Loomis Palmer Fund, Town Fair Tire Foundation, the Charter Oak Federal Credit Union Community Giving Program, and of course, the many individuals out there who also support our work. So we're so grateful for your making what we do possible.
Thank you for valuing our mental health and yours and that of the community. We appreciate all of you. Dick, I'm going to get you back in here in just a little while to say a couple of words about the coffee house.
Okay.
But I'm going to turn you loose for now, unless you have anything you would like to say.
No, I'll wait.
Okay. All right. I'll grab you later. So goodbye to you. And Emma, I'm going to say goodbye to you. And then I'm going to get Corinne to introduce the next video.
Hi. So the next video is a little bit of a look into our exhibit, Peace in Nature. We actually started working on this exhibit about a year ago, almost exactly. When we were returning to the office, we decided that one of the safest things we could do is do our art classes outside. So our amazing visual arts teacher, Faith Satterfield, took that idea and ran with it. And we made art in Mohegan Park, outside our own office, at Camp Harkness, at Avery Point. So we've had a chance to go all over Southeastern Connecticut. And then the show itself is now traveling around Southeastern Connecticut. It started out at the Groton New London Airport, which was its original intended location, but now it's made its way to the New London Public Library. So to celebrate a year of peace in nature, we put together a little video to show you some of the art at both of the locations. I'll show that for you now.
I Wish by Robin Fleming. I wish I knew the name of that tree, full of pale pink flowers and, yesterday, bumblebees. Cool breeze on a warm spring day, pink snow drifts and more petals falling, full of pale pink flowers and, yesterday, bumblebees. Birds calling to one another, pink snow drifts and more petals falling. Silence for a moment, birds calling to one another. Inside, paper and pens, silence for a moment. Writing down memories. Inside, paper and pens. Cool breeze on a warm spring day. Writing down memories. I wish I knew the name of that tree.
Oh, I loved hearing that poem by Robin, and I even know what tree she was talking about. That poem was written in one of our writing classes when we had Robin Fleming with us, who is very dear to us, used to work at Artreach. Okay, so what's next? Let's see. All right, we're going to talk about music a little bit in a moment. I think I'll play you a little music first, and then we'll talk about it. So every Friday, our jazz group gets together and plays, and we're missing one of our jazz group people. So this was just Dick, who's our music director, and Chris Harwell and myself. And we're going to play just a little short segment of My Funny Valentine for you now. Thank you. So you can see there the Make Music Day banner, and Artreach will be participating in Make Music Day on June 21st, and the jazz group will be playing at about 11 a.m. We're doing a couple of events that day, and we'll tell you more about that in just a little bit. But hi, Dick.
Hi, Becca.
This is the music director. So, Dick, I also wanted you to mention, if you would, anything you'd like to say about the jazz group. And I don't know, anything you want to say about Coffee House as well?
Well, I'll start with the jazz group. Let me introduce my friend of the last 45 years here. Originally, the jazz group got together. You saw Chris Harwell in the center of the screen playing the melody.
Chris is watching today, too. He's out there. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris. All right, good. A lot of the Friday Jazz Group came about largely because Chris and I were playing a little bit here at the office, and like one thing led to another, and we ended up gathering Becca and our friend Alan Winslow to play on Friday afternoons, and we've been doing that for longer than I can remember. I would say, oh yeah, probably 5 or 6 years. I think it's been like 8 or 9 years.
Oh, it's longer. It's longer than 8.
Oh my word. But largely because I think Chris didn't have anyone to play jazz with. So we were playing together, and then we pulled everyone else in, and pretty much every Friday, except during the pandemic, we've been getting together for a couple of hours and playing. And it's been great for everyone involved.
It has been fun, hasn't it? So, Dick, I'm going to, we'll still be able to hear you, but I want to show this picture because this is about the coffee house.
Okay. The coffee house.
Yeah. So you can say, I mean, what are we doing for coffee house this year?
Well, as you can see, this year's theme is the Beatles.
Woo!
And I find it really good because, people forget about the Beatles. Not. It's fabulous music.
Shows.
Yeah, it's great music, as we all know. And the Beatles are timeless. 500 years from now, people will know the Beatles, and they'll be singing along just as we're going to be singing along with the choices that our members make. The coffee house, basically, our music showcase, depending on what we're calling it, involves Artreach members. In the past, they pick a song. In this case, they're going to pick a Beatles song. And we put a band together of community volunteers, sometimes members, but mostly community volunteers, some of whom have been doing it longer than I've been at Artreach, which has only been about 10 years. But great players that give their time to learn probably close to 24 songs, so that the members, whoever the vocalist is, can get up, and they have a live band behind them, and it's a real gig. It's not like karaoke. It's a real gig. You got a live band. There can be mistakes, but looking back on it, there aren't a lot. So everyone has their part down, and it's a great thing. It's about a 12-week rehearsal process. On Tuesdays
in September, right? September,
yeah.
You're aiming for?
We're aiming for September. However long the rehearsal process is, it's going to be great. It always is. And everyone, including the band, the members, everyone has a really great time doing it.
I'm so looking forward to starting rehearsals. So, Dick, I will turn you loose now, but thank you for coming in and talking about the music program. I appreciate it, because music is a really important part of healing through the arts.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So I want to show you one more little Make Music Day thing. So again, this is June 21st. We're participating as part of the Southeastern Connecticut chapter of Make Music Day in Connecticut. And this is actually an international event. So people all over the world on June 21st every year get together and either have concerts or do participatory music events. And the object is for everybody to hear live music, to make live music, to experience live music. And we did say the jazz band is going to play at 11, but at 12 on Make Music Day, we have Jacob Graham coming in to teach a percussion class. So we have percussion, hand percussion instruments, and some drums, some djembes. And Jacob is a wonderful leader. We had just a blast with him. People from all levels grabbed an instrument and got to experiment with many different things. So we hope you'll come for that. That's at noon. And, it'll be on the campus in front of the Artreach office. If it's raining, we'll be inside somewhere, but you'll find us. We'll be making noise. So we hope you can come that day. And I'm actually going to, perhaps, Corinne, would you like to introduce Sam's piece?
Sure. Well, Sam over here has been acting for a real long time, and he's got the chops to prove it. So I asked him if he'd be willing to do a sonnet for us. How long have you been doing that sonnet for? How long have you been reading that?
Well, I studied that in Shakespeare workshop in college.
Nice.
It's Southern University, Southern Connecticut State University, and I've been carrying it ever since in my mind and heart. So I've memorized it ever since.
Awesome. Thank you. So we'll go ahead and show you Sam reading sonnet number 29.
When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoyed contented least. Yet in this hour myself almost despising, happily I think on thee, and then my heart, like the lark arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate, for thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. Thank you. I'm Sam Livin, and that was Sonnet 29 from Shakespeare.
Wow. Thank you, Sam. That was so good. it's just nice to hear your voice and see you perform. So I really appreciate you doing that for us. That was wonderful.
You're welcome.
So let me see. What is next?
Oh, Becca, I just checked the mail and look what we've got.
Is that a letter to Miss Cranky Pants?
I think so. Miss Cranky
I-
Pants got some mail.
Oh my God. Okay. So what do you think? Shall we read it?
Can we open it?
Yeah, let's open it. Why don't you read it
See
to
what
us?
it says.
Okay.
Dear Miss Cranky Pants, I am writing to you today as a last-ditch effort to right the horrible wrong I have been committing throughout the pandemic. I have let this situation go on long enough, and it's time to stop it. Okay, here it goes. On March 17, 2020, I went on a business trip to Guam. I work for a large beverage company, and we happen to have a bottling plant out there. It was my first business trip in a few years, and so, yeah, I admit it, I was really excited for some time to myself. No kids, no pets, just me and my good old assistant, Jeff. It was only supposed to be a week-long trip. A few meetings with some corporate suits, and then I'd be back in the continental US. But then COVID hit, and I was stranded. Flights were canceled for a while, and then there was a question of whether it was safe to fly. And then one day you wake up and you're in a hammock on your third daiquiri of the day, rocking the biggest farmer's tan in your life. I didn't mean to stay this long, really. I mean, those first few weeks were brutal. I had to knock on those double doors between Jeff's and mine conjoined hotel rooms just to have some form of human contact. Anyway, my family thinks I'm stuck here. I told them a herd of coconut crabs have been blocking the highway to the airport for the last 746 days. It's worked so far, but my Nana watches a lot of CNN and she'll realize that Anderson Cooper hasn't done a special on it, and she just thinks he's the cutest thing, and so she'll know I'm lying, and I just can't handle that. They don't deserve to be lied to in this way, but I also know that they're going to be really hurt when I tell them that I've spent the last 2 years snorkeling off of Gun Beach. How do I break the news to my family and friends without hurting their feelings? Signed, Guilty in Guam. Wow.
Gosh, I hope Miss Cranky Pants can help Guilty in Guam with that issue.
Well, we are working on episode 3 right now, as well as drafting and writing, and soon we'll be rehearsing some new sketches with the second set players. So
Yes, we will.
we're going to do some more virtual sketch comedy coming up, and Miss Cranky Pants will be returning to answer this and other letters.
Yes. Thank you, Emma. So Miss Cranky Pants is a recurring character in a Second Step Players skit. And Second Step Players is the longest running program at Artreach. It's our theater for social change focused on mental health and on busting the stigma about mental health, educating about the mental health system, and trying to gently coax change in what can be a difficult system to navigate and a difficult thing to live with. So what our ultimate goal is, and I'll just say the ultimate goal right out here, is that if anyone is struggling with depression, anxiety, with mental health symptoms, our goal is to make people recognize that it is a strength to reach for help and to not be ashamed to reach for help, to engage in that. And yeah, we just really want everybody to be able to get the help they need, and we're here to provide that as well. So we're a safety net for people who want to use the arts to keep themselves stable and happy and connected to other human beings, which really helps maintain mental health. There's my 2 cents on that one. That was more like 5 cents, I think, today. Thank you, Emma, for doing that. And let's see.
Thank you.
What's up next? Oh, okay. So next up today, we have another poem. This is from the same poetry class where we started working on pantoums. And when we started, we haven't added the rhyme scheme or the line length yet. We simply added the pattern of repeating lines. And we kind of backed into writing these. So I don't know, I can't really blow the thing, but there's a magic that happens in the particular way we did it. And Ellen, who came to this class, experienced that a lot. And so I want to share Ellen's experience and poem with you right now. Hi, Ellen. How are you doing?
Good, Becca. How you doing?
Good. Hey, I've been so excited that you could join us for some of the writing classes
Oh,
on Zoom
yeah,
during the pandemic.
they're absolutely amazing, honestly. Like I just love them. I really do.
Oh, good. Do you feel like it's like helped you build a sense of community to have that, even though it's on, virtual?
Yeah, because like during the pandemic, I was alone. My husband had just died, Jim. So, I was really seeking out community in my space because my living space because there was no other options at that time. So when they started to be offered, I just kind of like jumped into it and, feet first and really like I've gotten so much out of it, so much progress with like songs or different other types of writing that have been published or used and it's honestly been like, really great.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I love to hear that. And I don't know about you, but some folks have mentioned to me that they're excited to hear that we're going to continue to do some online classes as well as in-person classes because it saves the commute. It makes it makes it more likely that they're able to get there if they don't have to also spend the time in the car. Do you think that'll be true for you too?
Absolutely. Because honestly, like I have other groups I do in person, but having both, like the option of having it in my home in my own space is kind of nice too. Cause then I can like choose, if I want to stay home and not take the drive, I know I have options, which is great.
That's great. So I'm just really pleased to have you in the classes.
Hmm.
So when you came in, we were doing like the first pieces of working on a pantoum in a
Hmm.
poetry class, and it was I think it was that was the week we did support related, right?
Hmm.
So things that were supports during the pandemic, and you sure did come up with a lovely one, and I'm wondering if you would share that with us now.
Sure, absolutely. Okay. Here goes. Days alone turned to loneliness. Nights of longing woke me to a need. Pages of social media planted a seed. By chance, I found COVID requests. Nights of longing woke me to a need. A couple down and out put up a post. By chance, I found COVID requests. Purpose drove me to my sister's house. A couple down and out put up a post. Bags of boots, coats, shoes, a pretty blouse. Purpose drove me to my sister's house. Porch drop offs were what meant the most. Bags of boots, coats, shoes, a pretty blouse. Pages of social media planted a seed. Porch drop offs were what meant the most. Days alone turned to loneliness.
Wow. Wow, I love that. I love that. Thank you, Ellen. We really appreciate you sharing your piece with us. Okay, so let me see if Corinne wants to introduce the next art show. Do you want to come in, Corinne? Welcome. So, y'all, I'm going to say one thing about the art show, which is that this is hanging live right now at the Otis Library. This is the right one. I'm saying the right one, right?
Yes.
Yes, down in Norwich. So we have art in a bunch of places right now, y'all. This last year, we've pretty consistently had art hanging in some venue in the community, from the Groton New London Airport to the New London Library. We've had things at Groton Public Library and this display at Otis Library. Corinne, would you like to add more about this? Bye for
Sure.
now.
So this display was again curated by Faith Satterfield, and it's about the idea of mental health and the idea of what makes us mentally healthy. So there's kind of two parts to this. Right when you walk into Otis Library, there's some beautiful cases with artwork, and there's also some artwork upstairs in the community room. So you'll see kind of the two different themes. Upstairs is falling leaves, and downstairs is all about color. So it's a beautiful, vibrant show. So I'll go ahead and show you that now.
The month of May. Are the leaves coming or going, falling or growing? Each season of the year holds its beauty. Each season of our lives produces new wonder. We are creative, and we are creating with nature, blooming and waning, planted and airborne. Art heals, and our souls enjoy the peace as our hands get dirty, planting seeds in the soil of our minds.
Well, how lucky are we to get to work with community artist Faith Satterfield just on a regular basis? We're very lucky. So, Faith, if you're watching, thank you so much. We're really grateful to have you. We have for artistic pieces just one more for you, and that'll be in a couple of minutes. It'll be the last thing that we do. It's another song by our jazz group. But first, I'm going to bring Emma and Corinne back in to talk about a new social change theater project that they have been working on, and they've done a fantastic job. So yeah, can you guys tell us what's coming up next with People Like Us?
Sure. People Like Us is a play that was written and commissioned by a group called Plays for Living quite a while ago, addressing equity and diversity in the workplace. And we had read it prior to the pandemic when we were doing, Corinne and I were leading a Theater for Social Change workshop. And so we read it and had a great discussion. Then during the pandemic, we decided to do a reading of the play internally for our members, board, and staff and volunteers to have a little bit of a diversity training. And then we thought we got such great response, we applied for some funding, and the Community Foundation of Eastern Connecticut has supported Artreach in touring this play. Corinne and I worked together to create a video version of the theatrical play. It's really a hybrid that we have are doing 10 presentations around the community. And on Tuesday, May 31st, Groton Public Library is presenting the program free and open to the public at 6 to 7:30 p.m. at Groton Public Library. And there's info on their website. No registration needed, but you can get the rest of the information there. So we've been having some really dynamic community conversations around these important issues. You're muted, Becca.
I'm muted. How unusual.
That has to be said once in every.
Yes, it definitely does. Right. Yeah, I did that on purpose. What?
Those playing streaming bingo can check that off.
Right.
Yes, indeed. So y'all, I just want to thank everybody, and let me add Dick to there. All of you all for what you're doing at Artreach. This is, for those watching, this is the entire staff at Artreach that you're looking at right now. You're looking at the entire staff plus Sam, who is a long time Artreach member who has served on our board and is just beloved by all of us. But you know, we're small but mighty. We're a small but mighty nonprofit. And so we really appreciate the community support. It's because of the community support of our legislators in this state and of all the funders, the people who back us up, that we're able to do all of these things. So we're very grateful, and we're very grateful to see the impact on our program members. So thank you. And to take it out today, we're going to play one more piece of music from the jazz group, and you'll get to see a little bit how it works. I mean, we just get together and play out of the book. And so we're practicing as we go, we're learning as we go, and you'll see a little bit of that in this piece, which is called Sugar. Thank you all for supporting us doing this community share today. We're doing this till I get it. First ending again.
That's what we're gonna have. We're gonna tag a few times.
Thanks for coming today, everybody. That's about all we have for today's community share, but we will have more soon. And keep an eye on our YouTube channel. And please join us, like our Facebook page at Facebook Artreach Heals. Artreach Heals is our handle just about every place. You can check out our website. You can follow us on Instagram at Artreach Heals. And we really hope to see you live at something soon. The next one live is probably going to be the one at Groton Public Library for people like us, but also Make Music Day, June 21st. Don't forget. See you then.